concepts. And then the last one is, more guys want to hear more man stuff, you're talking more man. When we spend the majority of the time on that 3D printer, we'll do that. Okay, I'm going to touch all of them, but if I want to spend more time in one area, we'll just adjust it and go. Okay? All right. Again, we're going to start out here again, defending the multiple option run game. All right. A lot of the things we talked about yesterday, last night, the basic things, we're going to try to expand on them. But, again, we want to make sure we're identifying, again, the types of options we're seeing. We talked about the majority, at least a little bit, the zone, the zero, the midline, the dart option, the counter option, shuffle option, something we haven't talked a little bit about. And I'm talking about the double, where he's got the inside, he can go shuffle or pull it out and pull the pitch on the outside, right? Okay. All right. Drawing up again, we talked a little about the zone option, okay, yesterday. Again, I read them inside, the red, again, so we're identifying who's the back read on the zone, so we know how he's reading up all inside. Again, we're in the first man pass it down, has to pass the center, then he's going to come back to the second man, right? So the first guy expands, right, then he's going to come back and read the second guy. We talked yesterday about that, and if it's a shade, how we want this guy, we're going to rock that to get him to come off, so we get the nose to expand, force him to cut back, and we'll rock it back into the A. Is everybody with me on that one? Okay. And he's reading the end. Again, the same thing as today on the box. So I really don't want to spend a whole lot of time on the box today unless we've got questions on it. Okay, I want to spend more time on the option part, the pole pitch. Let's get the ball in the perimeter and how we're going to defend the perimeter of the stuff. Okay? All right. So we talked about zone option. The zero. Okay. Again, how it's so important. I don't know how you're seeing this, but they're running really. It's the triple option out of the gun. How you defend this kind of changes some things, because again, you can't squat and play your 5 technique. He can't squat and just be a quarterback player. He's got to read the damn thing. And I don't care if you're in a 3 technique or now if you're talking squeeze or what. He's got to be able to fold on that thing. Okay. If the good teams are seeing when they run the triple, if they run it to the 3 technique again, what they tell him to do on a 3 is he's going to push it in the A gap. They tell him push it in the A. Right, they're going to try to double the 3, and you want them to jump cut off the 3. So get up in there, jump cut, hug it tight, and come on down. Okay, and that's why if you take your guy and you just tell him, you're a quarterback player because you got 3 technique, you're squeezing, you're just a quarterback player. Again, you're gonna, and especially if he goes up the field or goes attacks the quarterback, you got problems. Okay, they'll run the crap till the days, till the cows come home. Okay, so we talk about the zero, and again, we want to make sure everything we're doing, whether I'm getting it, or it's to the eagle side or it's with the 50 side, we want to make sure we got answer to any one of these things as they pop up. Okay? So again, we start talking about basic fits, how we're going to play the 3 side, the eagle side, how we're going to play the 50 side, and then we go into all the run stunts and all the stuff, how it's going to help them. Obviously, we've got certain things that'll be better. Okay? And also, I'm going to tell us something is obviously game planning it. Hell, you're not going to get into everything. You know what I mean? If I'm going to game plan it, I'm going to say, look, this is what they're doing on, they're going to get into trips and this is what they're going to run. Well, it's the same damn thing. Then we want to get in what's our best stuff. There's several games where we're going to go in knowing that we're going to what? We're going to put the 3 technique to the back. And we're going to do it till they make us change. Okay? All right? Or we're going to go into this thing and we're going to say, hey, we're going to play, we're going to get the 50 set, we're going to get the 50 side to the back, and we're going to defend that. And we're going to do that till they get test of success. If they have some success, then we'll change. Okay? Or, again, certain things, if they're heavy zone, and what we've got a 1-2 look that we're going to do at them. Okay? So, again, obviously by game plan, you've got to get it down to the most important part. Just like defending the option under the gun, or underneath the center. If you walk in, you're facing a triple option football team. Somebody in a wishbone, or I don't care if you do it out of the eye, and El Camino forever was, when Herb was there, was running the triple on the inside and outside veer. If you're doing those things, defensively, the first thing is you got to make sure your kids feel comfortable with what they're doing. They got to know what they're doing. Okay, so defensively, you got to be careful with those types when you're facing options. How much are you going to change the fronts? Because the most important part is he knows what to do. You know what I mean? So you got to, again, when we game plan, we want to make sure that again, what are we good at? What can we handle? And then obviously, what's the best look we can give for certain looks? Midline. Any guys seen the midline? Been seeing the midline out here? I'm going to tell you this right now. The midline is really turned to this. If we play a lot of bear front, double eagle, 2-3 techniques, head up nose. We play a lot of that. Okay? So basically what we do is, I mean, that's like an automatic check in our conference now. I've been in the same conference now for 5 years. So if they're running any type of zone, zero, any spread option, if we give them bear, they're going to midline. Okay? So one thing is I know. Hell, I can limit a lot of times. I mean, again, I know I can what? I can limit what they're going to run. I can make them give me the midline. If it's a rundown, I know I can declare right now, so give them a bear front, we're going to make them run midline. Okay? Because that's basically all of their checks are. When we go bear, they don't want to run zone option. They don't want to run, the zero. They don't want to run to 3 and 5 in there. So they're going to run the midline. Okay? All right, but midline again is reading the 3 technique. Obviously, we're talking about midline lead, okay? Because we can see it 2 different ways. Blocking down, turn the 3 technique loose, blocking out, and he's either going to what? Read the 3. If the 3 crashes, okay, quarterback's going to pull, insert the B. Okay? Midline triple would be turning both loose. Okay? Midline triple would be turning both loose. So he's going to read the 3 on the dive, and he's going to turn around and read the 5 technique on the pull pitch. Okay? So he would turn both loose. They put the play side backer now. On the play side tackle, he would be responsible for the play side backer. So they would double this. Right? If he expands out, he's going to go to the back side backer. He's got the front side backer. Okay? Has everybody seen that? Yeah. All right. Counter option. We talked a little bit about that. Again, you've made the eat call. Okay? If you're going to gap exchange that, how are you going to do that? Okay? Because if these guys, if my key is this, if I'm going to key the guard and he pulls, there's no gap exchange here. Right? My guy pulls, he's going to be where? Over here. Okay? What this guy's got to know is what? When do we gap exchange? On the veer block. So if you don't veer block, there's no gap exchange. You're the quarterback player. Okay? That'll be the same thing as the dart. I don't know if I got the dart done up there or not. The next not. But if this guy does not block down, then there's no gap exchange. We're gap exchanging versus a veer. Okay? So if he pulls, you're the quarterback player, you're playing the power. Or playing the counter. Or dart, whatever it is. If this guy pulls, you're going. Okay? Because that was a big thing a couple years ago coming out. And even for us, again, first time people started running counter and reading this sucker. You know what I mean? If you're running him, he's saying eat, boom, boom, you got a quarterback running down the sideline. Okay? I think it's a great play for offense because I don't think we see it enough. Okay? Dart option would be the same thing. Here we go. Again, my guy pulled, I'm the quarterback player. Okay, he's got 3 technique, I'm a squeeze player anyway, so I'm good. Okay? I see the puller, I'm playing the pull. Okay? I'm playing the pull. He's playing, alright, he's gonna play the quarterback. Talked last night about the dart. He's gonna play the quarterback, and then what? Quarterback doesn't have the ball, what is he gonna do? Fold A gap. Okay? He's going to play the quarterback. You got time because it's an A-back cutback is all it is. Right? You try to hit it on the front side of the bubble first. So I'm going to sit, squat, see the hands. Quarterback does not have the ball. I'm going to fold the A gap, take the A gap, cut back. Okay? That allows me to get what? 2 backers on the insert player over here. Okay? So we get 2 on the insert. We get a vice the lead. He'd be my fold cutback player in the A gap. Okay? All right, here we go, ready? We talked a little bit of this, reviewing it. 7-man fronts, okay? And I'm going to get more into the secondary part of it. The 7-man fronts, we talked last night about obviously doing the stunts to be able to handle the gaps on the backside, okay? Let me start off with the 2 high. We started talking now with the 2 high. The way we're going to read this thing, I'm going to start talking a little bit about hash mark and stuff we touched a little bit last night. 2 high. The biggest thing, we're going to try to be a lot of 2 high for the passing game, okay? Again, how much do you have to do? I think it depends. How good is the quarterback? How good is the passing game? I know sometimes you're facing guys. Maybe they don't have a good passing game. Maybe he's not a throw. Maybe he's just an athlete back there running the option. Okay, and you can run a lot more 8-man fronts. Well, it's a little cleaner then on the run support if you're going 8-man fronts. Okay, but when we're doing this, primarily, usually what we want to do is we want to really use the corner that's into the boundary. Okay, I think one of the big keys in stopping the spread option is you've got to be able to use that 8th defender who's now a corner if you want to stay in 2 high, okay? And you can run it in quarters, and you can do that, okay? You can do the same concept with him forcing and him on top, okay? But you got to be able to get that defender in that box, and we really like using the corner because the worst blockers they got are usually these two cats on the outside. Okay? These are usually the worst two blockers they got on the field. Alright? So we want to make sure we're getting this guy in there. And then also, the thing about quarters also is, if you're going to run it, then make sure you're working on obviously the crack and replace there for that. And then obviously comes the crack and go, which becomes a big part of any option football team. Okay. All right. 7-man front, 2-3 technique. We talked about that. Okay. We're gonna handle this in a 2-back. Okay. Again, on the back side, we're we're going to force this on the back side. Okay, we're going to we're going to replace with the safety. On the front side, we want to do our force off the invert and the safety. We're always going to tag this guy again. This is usually we're talking here. This is the guy to the field. All right, we're usually this. Okay, and this goes into the pass stuff. I don't know. 4 verticals. Anytime an eagle goes spread, you better defend. How are you going to defend 4 verticals? How are you going to take that? Okay. Well, the one that we always want to make sure we're giving them or making them throw is the farthest one to the field. Okay, it's the one with the ball in the air the longest. It's the least percentage throw. All right, it's the one a lot of some quarter can't make that throw. Okay, he'll throw 4 verticals and he'll hit 2 inside seams, hit the guy in the boundary. Put the ball in the hash. He's not going to throw the ball out to the numbers out here. Okay, he can't make the throw. He's going to just toss it up. All right. So what it allows us to do is we'll go into this when we talk about pass stuff. Is we'll quarters concept this side and stack force between the safety and the invert roll down, okay, and then we'll stack force between the corner and the safety and the boundary. Slam, we've gone over that again. I didn't talk about that. Okay, again, if the back's to this side, now it's the Mike backer is a hard straight player. He's a quarterback player who's getting threatened right now. Okay. All right. Let's go perimeter run support. This is what I want to get into this morning. All right. All right, a couple ways to do it. We've got a couple ways we're going to call force, right? Shoot force or invert, skies or free safety, clouds or corners, Broncos or backer, okay? And read is we're reading the block, okay? And tell us who's got what, okay? Well, we're going to classify again who's the pitch player. All right, we want to make sure we classify who's the pitch player, okay? All right, let's talk basic cover 3 support, okay? Cover 3 support, again, all right, we're saying here we got shoot force, all right? So we're saying the invert, all right, your strong safety, he's the support player, he's the pitch player, okay? 2 things to start. First of all, if I'm responsible for pitch, he has got to read number 2 as well, okay? He's reading number 2, he's got to read the block at 2. That's real simple when he goes spread and he's out here. When he's down here, he's still got to read it, okay? Because who is 2 blocking? If 2 blocks a quarterback player, he's got to become what? He's got to become a quarterback player. Okay? So again, he's got to read number 2, and he's got to read number 2. We're going to cover 3 support. Just, all right? Free safety. Let's go through this technique. I'm a middle of the field player. Okay? His job is he is going to pat. He's going to read uncovered lineman first. Okay? If he gets a high hat read, okay? High hat read, I'm going to walk it out. Okay? If he's a hi-hat read, I'm going to walk it out. If I get low hat, I'm going to pat. All right? Don't go anywhere. Okay? So I get low hat read, pat. My eyes now snap to number 2, whether he's here or here. Eyes snap to 2. If 2 is confirmed that he's blocking, you're gone. Shoot like a dart. You're on a dead sprint. Okay? If number 2 is obviously up the field, then you've got to be ready to roll push back to the middle third. And the way we're going to do, we say, terms we use, we say roll, he's going to roll push on pass. Is this. So if I'm going to pat, okay, and I'm still the post player, in order to pat, if it is pass, I got to regain the depth that I would have lost. Okay? So to regain the depth that I would have lost, all right, is I'm going to cross, okay, and I'm going to go 3 hard steps, 1, 2, 3. We're trying to get 5 yards in 3 steps. Okay, we're going to roll it 1, 2, 3. We're going to push. And we're trying to push ourselves now to 15. I should be at 15. Then I square myself up. Okay, and I'm going to pedal back, and I'm a little post player. Okay, so that when I say roll push, so he's going to do this. He's going to pat. And he's going to roll push the middle third. Okay, all right. So he's going to sit back so we can make sure we still get the run support here. Okay, We don't want him backpedaling out of there, and he's trying to roll support. He's trying to support a pitch from 15 yards deep. He ain't gonna get there. Okay. So we'll pat, pat, pat. Read in-man line of scrimmage. I snap the 2. All right. Let me go this. Okay. I progression for ours in the back end. We always say first we say scan. Okay. Any second we say we want to scan. When we're scanning formation, we're scanning for eligibles. We should know the formation before it ever happens. We see the formation, we know what the eligibles are, and the possible motions. Okay? All right? 2, we say zoom. Okay? I'm going to write up. Scan, zoom, snap. Okay? Talking eyes. I'm going to scan the formation as they come out. All of them. Okay? I scan it, I find eligibles. I see that, hey, alert motion, gotta cut a split down. Whatever it is, I'm going to alert the motions before the ball snaps. Okay? I'm going to scan the formation. Okay? I'm going to zoom. Okay? The biggest problem that happens in secondary, guys, is they see too much. Zoom in on your primary key. Alright? If I'm the free right there, I should be zooming in on the uncovered lineman. If I'm the invert player right here, I should be zooming in on in-line line of scrimmage. Alright? Get your eyes on him. Don't be seeing all this crud. Okay? You don't need to see everything. Zoom in on him. Okay? And snap means now snap your eyes to your secondary key. Okay? So again, progression goes, his eyes would go what? Scan. I see eligibles and there. I alert myself to motion, free safety. Right? I'm going to zoom in on uncovered lineman. Right? I see low hat. I'm going to snap my eyes to 2. Okay? I see high hat. Right? I'm still going to snap my eyes to 2. Right? If we're talking cover 2, or 2 deep shell, right? I should be, again, scan, zoom, in-man line of scrimmage, right? I get high hat, low hat, I snap my eyes to 5 or 4, whichever I'm at, whoever I got on my side. Okay? Scan, zoom, snap. Okay? And then, so the progress of actually when you're teaching them is then you're talking about, the most problem gets them in trouble is they don't not see what they're supposed to see. Right? You got free safety running down in there, 2's running up the field, you know he didn't snap. Right? He didn't snap his eyes to the secondary key. Same thing. Guy's in a low hat and you got a guy bailing his ass out of there, you didn't see your first key. Right? So we talk about eye violations. Right? Your eyes, you're not looking what you're supposed to. That'd be the same thing as on defense lineman 3 technique, and I got my eyes in the backfield. Okay? You got to get your eyes on your primary key, then snap to your secondary key. Okay? Okay. We're always going to talk in terms of this, right? Force player, then our secondary force player, right? From force player on the pitch player, on secondary force, we're talking you are secondary support on the pitch, okay? That means I'm going to play until there's no longer threat of, I'm going to stay deep until there's no longer threat of a pass, okay? Does that mean no, not till the ball across the line of scrimmage until this guy stops, when this guy stops running. He breaks down anything he confirms. My eyes are still going to go, if I'm in deep third, let's go cover 3, my eyes are still on emo. Okay, I'm going to see the email line of scrimmage. Okay, if I get low hat, I'm going to get my eyes to stay in here through the 3-step. Okay, if I get high hat, I'm going to stay in here through the 3-step. Right, I walk it out, and now I snap my eyes back to number 1. Okay, my eyes should stay in here. All right, if I'm secondary force, okay, I'm obviously going to walk out because I'm on third. So I'm going to walk it out. Okay, eyes in here. I'm going to snap my eyes to him. Run or pass, I snap my eyes back to 1. If 1 is breaking down or coming to block me or cracking, I'm going to support. Okay, my aim point would be the outside pep to ball carrier. Okay, and I'm secondary support on pitch. Okay, everyone on that? Okay. Okay. One thing on this, I think, is making sure if we get confirmed option, you never want to cross the line of scrimmage. Okay? What you don't want to do is get on across the line of scrimmage. We say this on leverage. If he gets 2 of them out, if he's got the quarterback in the pitch, his relationship is 2 by 2 off the quarterback. Okay? I'm 2 yards outside, and I'm 2 yards off it. Okay? I'm a pitch player. I never want to get tighter to the quarterback than that. Okay? 2 by 2, I can still open myself flat and handle the pitch. Now, if somebody's got the pitch, if somebody's already got the quarterback, the backer, straight thumb, I feel the inside player's already got the quarterback, I'll expand to the pitch now. But if I ever get in a situation where they loaded it, cracked it, whatever, the guy fell down, whatever else, I'm 2 by 2 on the quarterback. Okay? All right? you can still, I do it, this is underneath the center, but the concept is the same. It doesn't matter if you're facing double slot option or facing spread option, okay? This is why we read number 2, okay? We read number 2 because I don't care if 2 inserts here or 2 inserts here to block the backer. If he blocks the quarterback player, he's got to become the quarterback player. My eyes are always snapping there number 2. Why? Because if 2 blocks the quarterback player, I know I'm going to the pitch right now. Okay? Normal alley player, he's playing quarterback 2 pitch. But if 2 blocks the backer, I go to the pitch right now. Okay? Last thing you want is him block the quarterback. Your safety's sitting on the outside, the quarterback's running up there 5-6 yard gain before the free safety can get to him. Okay? So we're always going to, we want to make sure both of us are reading number 2 on the run side. Okay? We got to see him. That simple? Is that the way everybody's doing it? Okay. All right, 2 high, stack force. Okay. Again, I talked about this. His mentality is the first thing you got to teach. Okay. Because all right, his mentality is not. Oh, you know what? Credit. Let me talk about this word. I want to talk about the corner. All right. Because this is a screw up. A lot. All right. If I'm the corner, I'm trying to let's do it. If I'm the corner, here's the deal. If I get confirmed run, okay. If you don't coach this, the first thing that's going to happen is guys going to come down stock block. You said stay outside. Where's this corner going to go? Okay. He's going to work his butt outside. Coach, you said stay outside. He's going to work outside. He's going to be out here. There's a huge ass alley in between him and the next man, and you got front problems. Okay. All right, we tell him this, is you get confirmed run, okay, boom, boom, I snap my eyes to 1, he's either running down to stock me, he's going inside, maybe gaining the inside position on me, whatever else. All right, first thing we tell him is do compress, okay, first thing he should do is compress. I should run at least 3 hard steps inside. I'm going to go there first, okay, I'm going to get him to close down on me, okay, I'm going to compress it first, okay, compress it first, and then realize what? You are now the receiver. He is now the DB. He doesn't know where you're going. Okay? Don't just run down there and make it easy for him, let him shuffle down here and lock up on you. Okay? We say this is I'm going to compress first. So I'm going to squeeze, compress as he comes down. Now, I want what? Eye fixate. I'm going to go inside, outside, right? I can eye fixate outside, come inside, I saw the ball. Okay? What we want to do is listen. We're saying he's a DB. Now it's your chance to screw him. Okay? Make him be the DB. Make him get under control. Okay? Don't just run in there. Okay? So if I'm secondary force, if I'm the 3rd player, that's cover 3, quarters, I'm the corner cover, I got the man, I'm secondary support player. First thing we say is compress. First thing you got to do is you got to compress this. We don't want a big ass lane here. Compress, right? Now become the wide receiver. Boom, boom, boom. Give him a move. Right? Shake him down. Shake him down. Eye fixate. Now come and support. Okay? First thing we got to do is get that lane down.
Coach, you're teaching that and all, and whenever he's a secondary force player, not just against option.
Not just against option. Because then, yeah, you're going to speed, sweep, whatever. Compress it, and get up. Yep. So it's the same thing for him every time. If I'm back, if I'm ever deep, and I'm going to walk out, whatever else. Cover 1, we get in cover 1, same thing. Boom, eye snap back to 1, bam. There he goes. He chatters down your block on 1. Compress first. Get to constrict that lane and then avoid and be a secondary force player. Okay? And obviously, I don't know, it's probably the same thing. It's the same thing. These are usually our worst tacklers. All right? And usually the ones that we get that can run and cover, they don't want a whole lot of this. Okay? They want to go cover that guy. They don't know a whole lot about throwing their head into a running back come down there, you know? So, one thing we teach is pretty simple. And if you get a physical corner, obviously it's great. Those are the easy ones. Those guys that don't like to tackle is compress, right? Compress, avoid, go through the outside thigh board. Okay? We just do a don't bother with teaching them say hi. We just boom, we're going through the outside thigh board right now. Smoke it. Don't break down. Don't anything. Come get his ass. Okay? All right. Yeah, and most everything we're teaching is like I said, all the basic reads and stuff, it don't matter. We're going to try to teach everything so that you're not having to reteach versus option, you're not having to reteach versus any kind of stuff. So anything I'm talking about, that's our basic keys and reads. That's the first thing, that's how we're gonna teach it all the time, okay? All right, stack force. All right, mentality here, okay? All right, we're talking half, right? I'm on a half, so I'm gonna walk out. Safety's gonna walk out, okay? All right, corner, my read is in-man line of scrimmage, okay? We talk about the mentality. First of all, the mentality of any primary support player is you have the right to be fooled, okay? All right, we don't ever want to take any of our primary support players. We're telling them right now, you have a right to be fooled. All right, we don't want him pitter-pattering. I wasn't sure, coach. I didn't pull my trigger. Pull it. We'll work on getting out of it. All right. If we saw something wrong, we'll get out of the thing. All right. So I'm talking. Yes. Are you gonna have problem play action pass? Yes. So it's a different way how we're gonna teach that too. Because if he gets low hat, he's gonna be coming. Okay. So he is reading in-man line of scrimmage. Okay? Now let's talk about it. There's several ways you can play this guy. Alright? And I think we have played him at 5 yards depth. We have played cover 2 from an 8-yard depth. Okay? Alright? There's 2 ways. I mean, you can do it either way. Okay? So, but the basic rules we're going to tell them is this: is we're going to say it's slam footwork. So it means I'm inside leverage. Alright? I'm going to go inside leverage, slam footwork. Then we should step my inside foot first. Okay? My eyes are inside right now. Okay? I see in-man line of scrimmage. I see low hat. We talk about your mentalities, your hands in the grass. You ought to be coming. Okay? And you're coming to constrict 2 by 2 off the in-man line of scrimmage. Alright? That's your aiming point. Alright? So he's coming hard to constrict. Okay? If he gets number 1 coming to block him, all right, we want to dip and rip and keep coming, okay? Dip and rip and keep coming. As long as your hat's on the inside of him, we're good. If he washes you all the way down, that's still good, because what did it do to our stack force? It made it tighter, okay? That's ideally what we want, all right? This is one of the easier tackles in the game of football, okay? It's an inside-out profile shot, okay? That's an easy tackle for the safety. Alright, so we would love it for him to come down and block you all the way down here to the tackle. That's great. I got that. There's just nothing like we took and stuck him right down here as a wing. You got that gap, we stack force off the edge with a free safety. He's got nobody blocking him. He comes down, it's like tackling practice. Profile shot, it's easy. Okay, so what we want to do is that an outside shoulder, again, I'm going to come, if I get him in, I want to dip, lean, right? I still want to work my neck up in there. To make sure I'm not getting washed. I don't want to get off balance, right? So we want to get our low pad down. We're going to rip through that armpit, right? And we're going to compress to make sure we squeeze the thing all the way down to the tackle, or tight end, wherever the in-man line of scrimmage is. Okay? All right. Secondary force, and I'm talking half, I'm going to say half, cover 2, okay? So we said anytime I'm a deep player, I'm going to walk out. I'm going to walk out, and I'm still going to have my vision on in-man line of scrimmage, okay? I walk out, I vision in-man line of scrimmage. Okay, I get low hat, my eyes are going to snap to 1. Okay, if there's a boundary, eyes would snap to 5. Okay, so I get here, I get low hat, I'm walking out, my eyes are, before I stick that foot in the ground, I'm walking out, bam, I see in-man line of scrimmage, he's blocking, my eyes snap to 5. Okay, as my eyes snap to 5, if 5 is running, right, I'm going to pedal for width. Okay. If 5 is blocking, or 1, if 1 is blocking him, you're going to stick that, you're going to stack force tight. Okay? He's now you are running right at number 1. Number 1 or 5, you're running right at his butt. Crack and go, we ought to have a daggum collision, or we ought to see it, because that's my aiming point. My aiming point is him. Okay? So my eyes should be on him. Okay? So he comes down, if he does for some reason, he did crack and go, or he just stock and take off, bam, I should see that guy and take it. Okay? All right.
Good. What about the alley guy, coach?
Alley guy.
Is he looking for 2?
Yep. If I got run this side, my alley takes, my eyes going to go this side, and I would pick up number 2. I say, in case I get the down and up the alley, in the middle. Okay. So the alley players, same thing. So what? In cover 3, who's the alley player? They're free, and who did he check? number 2. You're the backside, I walk out, right? Run goes away from me, I'm still going to snap my eyes to number 2. I'm still the alley player. Okay? Didn't matter if we're on 1 high and he's here running the alley, checking 2, or on the backside safety and I'm checking 2 on the alley. Okay? You're still the alley player, you check number 2, you're inside out, you're a quarterback to pitch player. Okay?
Coach, going back to 1 high with your free safety, he's reading uncovered to number 2.
Yeah.
If they're 2 by 2 and they're, zone option team,
Yep.
which number 2 you chilling to check?
Well, it depends on what, usually going to get, if they're running zone option, one of those suckers got to come in. Right? So one of the guys, well, they have, well, I shouldn't say it. Because the other way's running. Right? They can take this guy, back him up. Right? They can do that. And there's the pitch guy. He just steps back. Okay? What we say is this is the free safety. You're always responsible for the side the quarterback's coming out. Okay? Because that's the option side. Okay? So if the zone's coming this way, I'm always playing the alley player. I got to play that side. So that's his 2. Okay? Yeah?
Yeah.
You with it? Okay.
And so if they're like an under center team or something like that, is it like uncovered with flow?
Yeah, be uncovered to the flow. If he opened that side, I'm going to check that to that side. Yep. Okay? If we're in cover 3, then the backside third player would be responsible for 4 and 5. All right? He'd be responsible for squeezing 4 to 5. He gets 2 vertical. He's got apex 4 and 5. Everyone on that? Okay. All right, stack forcing off the invert. Okay. All right. We're gonna. This guy, same thing. I'm gonna key in-man line of scrimmage. Low hat. Okay. My eyes snap back to him. Okay. My eyes snap back to number 2. All right. 2's blocking me. All right. If 2 blocking me, say now we're back to linebacker run fits. Okay. If I get it, I am going to cuff and choke. Number 2, I'm going to shoot 8, all right? Outside hand on the cuff, inside hand down the midline, all right? I'm going to choke, all right? And then I'm going to near foot, and constrict, okay? Is everyone with me on that? You got to, I don't have it here. I'll tell you what, the best kid we had doing this was a kid out of, we had a little kid 2 years ago. He was little, he was 165 pounds. He was played at LA Harbor. He choked the crap out of kids. He's 165 pounds, man. He'd stick that damn thing in there, and it was every time. Boom, boom. You see, he just, if you watch it, if you can we give awards, all right? We'll give them things for chokes, practice, try to make sure they understand it, get it down. Our linemen hate it, our receivers freaking hate it. There's fights at practice all the damn time because we're choking them and stuff. But the times we've been better, we understood that. Suckers ain't blocking you when you do that. Okay? If I'm a strong safety, I don't care. You always be, oh, he's not big enough to support and all stuff. I promise you, that 2 blocks him, and if I go cuff and choke and I slide that thing into his throat, that guy ain't blocking him. The first thing he's going to do is try to get his hand out of his damn throat. And forget blocks off. That's about survival instincts at that point. Okay? All right, so here we go. All right, if I'm outside, all right, say I'm in cover. So we're in cover 2 high, cover 2. Okay, we're going to stack forces here, so we're going to play outside of this guy. Okay, all right. Now with our coverage, it's going to change. So we may go by coverage. He may be inside footwork. It's the same terminology, slam or squat. So let's say he's squat. So I'm outside leverage number 2. I'm leveraging the bubble, which we'll get into later. Okay, I'm going to leverage the bubble, so I'm going to be outside of number 2. Okay. So the same thing, in-man line of scrimmage, eyes snap back to him, he's coming to block you, right? Cuff and choke, right? Get in there and compress, and I'm going to stay on the outside of the guy, okay? Your job is just to make sure you stay outside, clarify for the free, okay? If we're in a quarters coverage, right? Okay, I'm in some type of tight half concept here, right? It's the same thing. I'm going to walk out, in-man, now my eyes are going to snap to who? 2. Not 1, because I'm not playing with him. It's quarters because he's got him deep. Okay? He's deep on there. So I'm going to snap, my eyes are going to snap to 2. Okay? I see him blocking out, I'm fitting inside. Alright? If, for some reason, again, I snap my eyes to 2 and he's releasing, then I'm going to cover it. Okay? All right, if we went in, say, next part, and we go, say he's in a slam forward, he's inside, then now we're taking what? In-man line of scrimmage, you see run, same thing we talked about on the stack force, or with the corner, right? Now here's my angle. He comes and block me, that's fine. Dip, lean, and push it, okay? And you're gonna stack force right off his butt. Okay? We good on that? Okay.
Coach, if you were playing cover two, and your backside pass is the alley guy, is he just taking alley? In theory, he would be the cutback safety, but he's going to take it before it ever got that far by running the alley.
Well, if
is he arcing or is he?
He's an alley. He'd be here. Our backside corner would be their cutback safety.
Oh, you're going to move him on top.
Yep.
You're not going to bring him in for cutback.
Well, if it's flow that side, okay. Well, I said. If it's true that it's too high, he would go, like I said, he's going to see run away from him. So let's say he was in that same forward, he's on low hat, and he started to come, boom, okay? He's got to work back to squeeze 5, okay? I'm going to work back to squeeze 5 and compress, and then I'd be a late cutback player. Now we have two ways. We have another term that we say if we tell him to cheat, now he is a complete run player. Okay, so if I say cheat, that means we're going to cheat him inside that guy. Okay, general rules will say we go 5 by 2, so I'll be 2 yards inside it. Let's put it over here. So if I was going to play a cheat corner here, okay, what he's going to cheat is 2 yards inside that wide receiver. I'm just making sure you ain't blocking me. Okay, I'm going to make sure there's no stock block here. So if I'm cheat corner, basically I'm the linebacker. I'm an invert, right? And I get run. I'm down. I still got to what? I got to snap my eyes back to 5 because we're cheat corner and we're letting him go on run support. So I got to still snap. I walk out, pedal, boom. I still got to cheat my eyes backside, make sure I'm on the backside post or something like that. So I'd have to do that. But we add the extra 8th man defender with the corner. Yeah. Okay. All right. We've gone through this. All right, good. Okay, so we tell them this. So if we get flow, all right, instead of patting straight, because what happens is if you pat straight and they're zone block, if they're zoning this way and you pat here, you're in the backside B. Time to declare. So a lot of times our pat's not here. If it's flow, I'm gonna shuffle with the flow, so I'm still in my same leverage spot in the box. Okay, so we would shuffle, 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 roll, push back to the middle third. Okay, right, yeah. So that's the big thing, because if like I said, if you don't, if they zone here, and I just speed option. Here you go. If I pat here, and while this is moving, he technically would be flowing this thing from the backside B. He's not gonna get there. So if I see this, I got to shuffle, 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 and I'm supporting from the same spot. Shuffle, 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 roll, push back to the middle third. Okay? It won't be a straight pat.
So you have him roll back opposite where he came from?
He's got to
where he came from?
He's got to get in the middle third. Okay? And we said, what is the middle third? Okay, we first want defense, obviously defense of the formation. Where's 2, where's 4, or who's your bolt number 2s if you class one like that. Okay, but the first thing is everybody else. All right, everybody else in the defense is funneling to him. Okay, so we say at a spot of at 25 yards, that free safety's got to be able to cover 2 yards outside the hash, both hashes. So there's still a concept there was we're still defensing the field. Now when you get to 3, now it sounds real simple, there's my threat, so I'm going to push to 3. But if you go 2 by 2, okay, if I was 2 by 2, we're coming this way, if I was 2 by 2 and I do some type of half roll or some type of play action or something at that side, we still want you got to roll push the middle of third. Why? Because we're playing a divider concept at our corners, okay? And the divider concept, you got to know where that sucker's at, right? They're not doing it based off of a man. They're playing leverage based off of where you're going to be. You with me on that? And we'll talk about man coverage. So when we start talking man coverage, all right. Our divider concept is this. Okay, if we're in a cover 3, our corners, okay, are 5-1 bottom. Okay, that means if the ball's in that hash, okay, my divider, knowing where my free safety, where I'm going to leverage, it's 5 yards inside, okay, of the numbers, okay. If the ball was in the middle of the field, the ball's there. If the ball is in the middle of the field, my divider now is 1 yard inside the numbers. Okay, and we can go more into some coverage stuff. Okay, if the ball is to me, my divider spot is the bottom. Okay, and what we're saying is anything broken inside your divider, okay, let's say Z's here, and he runs a post, anything inside that divider, that free safety's got to be able to make that play. Okay? And so if we change the dividers, obviously in cover 1, the corners dividers go, right? It's 6-2 top. Same concept. Now it's 6 yards inside the numbers. Now it's 2 yards inside the numbers. And now it's, all right, now it's the top of the numbers. Okay, and now that's telling us as a corner whether I'm playing inside or outside leverage. Okay, we can talk more on that when we go past stuff.
Did you guys have a cover 2 divider?
2 middle 2.
Yeah.
And so for our free safety, what we talk about most of is we want to know where he's at, because it all goes together. If he goes inside my divider, I'm undercutting the post. Why? Because the free's on top. If he goes inside my divider and runs a 6, I'm undercutting the 6 route. Because if he goes 6 and post, this is a freeze ball. What we don't want is what? They run a post and we got a corner on top of the post and a free on top of the post, and who's got underneath the post? The receiver. He's catching the ball. Okay? So everything we do on coverage make sure is when we get the route, we want to make sure we got a guy inside and a guy, we got to get him right on how we're leveraging every route. Okay? Everybody with me on that?
Can I ask you one more question? Sorry. Going back to cover 2 with 2 middle 2.
Yep.
If he lines up outside your divider, do you move him to slam footwork?
Yep.
If you're playing cover 2 on both sides?
Yep. Yep. And then there's some changes with that, obviously with the zone option. We, like I said, a lot of times we do it's 2 middle 2, but we'd say, hell, if he cuts it down and we know, and like I said, the back's away from me, slam it anyway. Why? Because I got the run coming to me. Okay, so the cover 2, we have a basic concept, and I say all those obviously are also, when we say dividers, those are basic concepts. So we come out day 1, this is how we play. Okay, but obviously, you know, you're going to get in a state where you're going to game plan and say, hey, look, this guy, when he goes outside the number, you know, he's running a go route. You know what I mean? He's going deep. You know, if 2's tight, he's going to, you know what I mean? They're running, whatever you call it, they're running an inside and a fade. You know what I mean? So we're going to play it. We have a basic way to play it. But, you know, and then obviously, you know, we're gonna play the routes we're gonna see based off the dividers with the width and splits of the receivers too. Okay, but it gives us a base way to play anything. If we went out there and we understand it, we would have a bread and butter way to play it no matter what. Okay.
Coach, exactly what is your 2 middle 2?
That's our corners dividers in cover 2.
Okay.
So if the ball is on the far hash of me, I'm 2 yards inside the numbers. If the ball's if the ball's in the middle, my divider's the middle of the numbers. If the ball was to the hash, it's to me. I'm 2 yards at the bottom of the numbers. Does everybody understand? So I'm saying is if the receiver lines up inside my divider, okay? Let's say ball's over here, my divider's at 5 yards. So let's say the X receiver lines up here. I'm outside, I'm gonna line up outside. Okay? I'm gonna line up on my divider no matter what. If the X receiver's out here, I'm inside. He's outside the divider. Okay? Yeah, so if we were saying 2 middle 2, if the ball's in the middle of the field, and here's the numbers, ball's in the middle of the field, if that Z receiver lined up inside, alright, I'd be outside leverage. If the X receiver lined up outside, then I would be inside leverage.
Could you actually line up on the divider? You teach your kids to line up on the
That's
divider?
a start.
And then it's a
Yeah,
adjust.
yeah. And don't cover grass, and catch 5 yards off it, come on down, you know what I mean? But yeah, the basic rule they should understand is, if I'm in zone, cover 3, we tell them what, if I'm the outside corner, I'm on the third, okay? Where do I work to? You work to your damn divider, right? I'm working to the damn divider. That's the general rules, I'm working towards the divider, why? Goes inside of my divider, so you help my free. Okay, comes outside my divider, I'm on my own. Basically, anything outside your divider, buddy, you're a man, you're top down. Okay, you're in man coverage, you got no help. It's you, and the receiver. Okay, you know what? Let me say this. Okay, and this may help. What we say in our coverage is that there's always a bracket. Okay, there's always a bracket. Okay, you're either going to bracket with the free safety, right? Right. If I get Z and here he goes, he does that. Okay. We talk about we have a moving bracket. Okay. And we have a non-moving bracket. Sideline. You got a moving bracket inside. Could be the free. Could be the backer in a low hole. Could be the backer in the coverage. Where else? I've got a bracket. We're inside and outside on everybody. Okay. You always have a bracket. Okay. Use it. Okay, if he's going to my help, don't overplay it. Play the routes that you got. All right. If I'm going to go to the sideline, same thing. I'm going to use my stationary bracket, my sideline, my non-moving bracket. Okay, so that kind of helps. Yeah.
So are you telling your corners basically, if I'm in cover 3 and the quarterback's looking away, you know your bracket is going to continue to move?
Work my divider. Yep. Shrink.
So I have to work even more inside the divider because my bracket is moving.
Yep. Your bracket's moving. Shrink on the backside. Yep. If we're talking cover 3, when we talk about later, we're talking about zone. Again, if he is whatever, if he's looking this way, and all these back sides ought to shrink. All these other sides ought to expand. Okay. How do you option? There you go. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay, now, there's, like I said, this is midline. He's turning the 3 technique loose. Okay? So he's going to turn the 3, we're in bear. I told you about this. Is basically when we get in our bear front, double eagle front, our basic thing we're going to see, they're going to read the 3 technique. Okay? Now, this is not great technique. What he should do, alright, it's just like I was a 5 technique and they're reading me. Okay? If he goes down, we want to keep our shoulders square and squat. Okay? Now, obviously, it's a hell of a lot harder to put a guy in 3 technique and turn his ass loose, but he's been told attack, attack, attack. You know what I mean? But the whole idea is, hey, you catch yourself, what? Sit and squat, stay in the damn hole. Okay? We've got the A gap, the B gap, the C gap. That's all covered over there. Don't go anywhere. Okay? Sit and squat so you can get a chance to play the quarterback. Okay? So he always said, well, coach, boy, you're too far off the field here, so sit. You should sit right there. Okay? As soon as you recognize it, sit down. See, he said, no man, he can't play the quarterback right there. Okay? Well, we want him to sit. Again, we get the base block out. Alright, squeeze. Okay, we're in cover one here. All right, we're in cover one. So I'm reading the in-man line of scrimmage. He blocks. I'm coming. Okay, free. Should be reading here. Pat, pat, pat. I should read this man right here. My eyes should be on this cat. Okay, and we want a tight fit. If I get this guy blocking, again, we want to squeeze and I'm outside, 2. We're going to stack force again off the inverts to do the same thing. Here comes the free. Okay, again, let's take a look at the corner. Here's one of those guys that likes to cover, but he don't like to tackle very much. Okay, but again, he can't really see it. But again, he should compress it first. You can kind of see him. He's out. He should be right out here. All right. He should be outside the divider. You can kind of see it. It's kind of off the screen. It's over here on the board. You can see the corner. He's basically over here. He's outside the numbers here. Okay. All right. All right. The guy's basically sitting on my divider. So if he's on your divider, you got to make the declaration. You're inside or outside. So right now he went outside. So he's treating him. He's going to say he's inside his divider because he's sitting right on it. 6'2" top. He's sitting at the top of the numbers. Okay. So I'm right on the divider. So I'm going to. He's outside leverage. Okay. So we want to see the corner come down here. He should compress. Get him to come inside. Once you compress, now avoid. Now avoid. Come on. And then, see what I'm saying? You don't like the big tackles. It's not real good. But those guys can. He's making money. So. Okay, should be midline again. So I should read the 3 down here. Good. Again, you know, you got to change things up too. The thing probably is, it's by personnel, and for us, if you know this kid running the football, he was the player of the year in our conference. Okay, so a lot of times we tell him take it, but we don't want him carrying. We do not want him carrying the football. Okay. All right. So again, general rules though, we want the 3 technique. What? If they turn you loose, we want to squat. So let's say it's this guy. Squat, good. That's not bad. Okay. Keep your shoulders square. Don't turn on the back. Squeeze. You're a quarterback player, just the same as you were in a 5 when you read it. Okay. We're squeezing. If we're squeezing from a 5. We're squeezing from a 3. I still got a guy in the inside gap next to me, so I'm squeezing. It's the same thing as you were doing in a 5. Sit and squeeze. Sit, squeeze, you got the quarterback. Okay? Again, to turn it out, we should cuff and compress, right? All right.
Wait, Coach,
Yep.
where you're going, you said 3 techniques, sit, squeeze.
Yep.
You have,
He's a quarterback player. Midline?
yes,
Yes, he's a quarterback player.
okay.
You want to draw it?
That's why people do it against the bear.
Yep.
Probably better to defend that 2 linebacker system.
Yeah, because if they go bear and you take the 3 technique, and I go after the dive right now, well, that's the duckling they're hoping for.
Right.
Okay. So, and we said it's the same. All those gaps are accounted for. All right. We got an A gap, a B gap, a C gap player. All the same things. We said the same thing we're teaching you in 5 technique. It's the same thing. It's going to happen a hell of a lot faster, and the quarterback's right on top of you. Okay. So, when they run the midline, you know, ideally we want to hand the football off and run it over there. We got an A gap player, a B gap player, C gap. We've got no place to run. Okay. Now, I will watch this. He did not write a lot of right cutups. This is supposed to be we actually got us we got a stun on, so kind of changes some things. We'll go to tight. it'll be the same things. Now, if we're blitzing inside, okay, he's just a 3 technique, I'm the 5. I got a defender in an inside gap, I'm a squeezer. Okay, I'm a quarterback player. He's reading on this side, same thing. We got a blitzer inside, so we got a B gap player. They're down blocking, right? And he's be taking this thing, running A gap and cutting off the 3. Okay, I got a blitzer in a B gap. Okay, guy goes down, right? He should be here. I should be squeezing. Now it changes for us. When we go 5-man pressure, we kind of this is not the greatest clip because when we go 5-man pressure, we're telling them that we're jetting the front. But this guy's wrong. See that? He's not him. This guy pulled the damn football out. Got a problem. And you game plan it based off who you got too. Alright? Promise you this isn't, our conference is number 8. Played quarterback for 2 years. You probably didn't keep it 10 times. Okay? So when we played these guys, if we made the E-call, we went for the back. Take him. Why? Because he wasn't going to pull the ball out, no matter what. Okay? Should be a good one. Let's go to tight. Okay. We're going to play man covers. Now the other way we handle this is this. Alright, now we can also do this, we'll do it on the boundary. Okay? I'm going to say this is the drop guy. Okay? If he's the drop guy, we're going to take him, loosen him up to 2x9. Okay? And he's going to play, we're going to play inverted half. This makes it still looks like 1. We're going to take him to 5. We're going to take him to 4. Okay? And we're going to put him on the half. Okay? Alright? If we're doing that, we're going to put him in this A gap, and we'll put him in that B gap. Okay? Alright? And again, that would be the boundary side, so the ball's in the hash. Okay? So we'll play cover 1, and then we'll play 2 shell out of it also as well. Okay? Going back to the same thing, let's just say we're balls in the hash. Okay? Okay? Balls in the hash. Alright? Our number one thing to do on the run is we're going to slam this, knowing we're probably going to get this. Okay? We're going to slam that. We're going to cheat him 2 yards. Right? I'm going to cheat. I'm a run player here on the half. Okay? Again, if there's any type of flow on my side, I got to cut my eyes to number 5. Okay? I'm going to cut my eyes to 5. We still have the same thing here. So we have an eat call here. Alright? I'm a free player. Okay? If we get the zone option this side, okay? He blocks him, he blocks him. We'd squeeze outside, we'd stack force off of him. We'd put him on this, right? So he's going to stay, and he's going to walk out, stay on top. I'm going to play a top down. I'm a top down man guy. So my job is this: when there's no long threat of a run, I'm going to do what? I'm going to compress and avoid. Okay? That is probably, I'm going to tell you, those 2 things right there, basically, that's our 2 best run calls on run. So we're going to spread, and I'm going to take, and we're going to play, this is it. It's money down time, it's time, we got to stop them. We basically do everything else, so make sure we can do that. Okay? And we're going to line up in our 4-man front, and then we're going to slide it down to that. So we'd start like this with him out, him down, and he's going to walk down. He's going to kick down to 3. I'm gonna play cover one behind it. And then we're gonna show them this, make sure they think we got cover one. And then we're gonna play invert, so we're gonna go here, on top, and we'll play it that way. And that will be our map, this is a matchup underneath, this will be a matchup zone underneath. And then on our 4-man front, we can play our normal stuff, we can echo this on the backside, away from that back. We're gonna cheat the corner in the boundary for our 8th-man support, and again, we're just gonna stack force it off the field side.
If we don't play quarters, so we said that, okay, if we were gonna use that concept on the left, we'd have to do it at a pure cover 2.
Yep.
Would you be afraid of that free safety, and how late he's gonna get there?
No, I'll tell you what, if we're gonna play that, when we do it out of cover 2, if we do it, okay, if we're gonna do it out of cover 2, okay, if we're gonna do it out of cover 2, we're gonna slam him, and we're gonna slam him. So they're both inside leverage, okay, and we'll take them, now we're gonna put the over front to the field, we're gonna slam them, free player, right? So now if I get run support, I'm what? I'm pulling my trigger, right? And then we put, he got to cut his eye, now he's got to see both 2 and 1, okay? All right? Basically we're telling us, and I did whole cons again, we're trying to cancel gaps and force the ball out to these guys, okay? And then both their mentality's got to be now, I go slam forward, I'm in my line of scrimmage, ball hit, I'm gone. Okay?
Now,
Yep.
on that nose concept, if it's run, he's not, what do you tell him about, you know, because if it's pass, that nose is gonna.
This one, yes.
Right, so what do you tell him to do on that? I mean, when does he decide?
When does he go?
Yeah.
He's going to say, hey, you got to play hi-hat first, you got to play his gap first on the run. I'm still an A-gap player, right? So I'm going to play it, so I'm going to be exactly what we tell him, we say, you are late,
We're late, yeah.
we say, you're late cop. Cop is contain on pass. We're going to late cop, okay? If we're going to do it to the field, we don't mind doing it to the boundary, right? Because again, if he flushes, he's going into the boundary. If we're going to do it to the field, we want to be in a zone concept. So that say you get, Kyle, you get sprint out, and it ain't a good call, coach. You screwed that one up then, okay? All right. So we don't want to do this versus sprint out. But if for some reason we do it, or he flushes to the field because we lost contain, all right, we're in a zone concept. So when our vision is where? Vision is on the quarterback. My vision is on the quarterback. Okay. All right. So if he loses contain, we always take the backside backer to replace.
You never want that nose, even if it's run and the L and E get really good penetration, you never want them kind of underneath that to pursue the ball, the nose.
Coming in here.
No, behind.
If it's high hat,
No, if it's, say it just gets washed down, you want the nose?
they're zoning this way.
Yeah.
If they're zoning that way, he's got to play his gap. He's in it. You got to play the run. You're an A-gap player. You're going to contain on pass only. Yep. So he got zone to him. Okay. And again, hey, here's another key on coach point. If we're slamming, we're slamming on this side, and we're constricting those gaps, he's got to know that.
Right.
I don't want to be heavy on the center. Okay. I don't need to be heavy on the center. Why? Those gaps are constricted. I don't want to be heavy on the center, push the zone to me, and I can't make the play.
You want him in,
Yeah. So I want more in the gap on this thing. Make sure I should be on the edge. The closest thing I should be on the outside foot of the center. It's the closest I should be on that thing. If I got a slam game, the closest I'm going to be to that center is on his foot.
Are you using slam footwork on the backside with the corner, even though if you're playing this one in the box?
Okay,
This one?
Yeah. Or you guys pre-inverted?
We could have slam on both sides, right?
Okay.
Especially if he sees this.
And then first plus.
If he motions in, we
Okay.
cheat inside the slam. Okay.
And if not, and he was just playing this divider, and if he was like squat technique,
Squat technique.
then you're asking the R. Okay, so the safety's gonna fit outside of 2, not the R.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. The R ought to be, if they're running this, he should be rocking going A to C. He would be inside of 4. The I should be outside of 4.
Okay.
Okay, because if he goes and blocks him, most of the time we're going to get 4 here. If he's doing that, we don't see a lot of that. Most of the time there's some type of option with it. That's going to be him crossing. Now the whole thing that changes up is we see a lot of, because we play so, well guys, almost there. If we get them on the hash, we're going to force it one way or the other. We're going to force that ball, make you have to run to the daggum field, or we're going to, you know what I mean? Or so what we get a lot of is they'll trade the guy into the boundary, and they'll run zone option into the boundary. Okay? And try to get the extra guys. So now they get 5 on the corner, get 4 on the backer, make him come support. Okay? General things here again, coaching those. We said load, we're gonna what? That's any 4x1. What are we doing on zone coverages? We're pushing. So, all right. Even though the matchup, we gotta be. If he gets this motion, if he gets the tailback over here, okay, we should be slid over. Okay, especially when I can confirm now 2 comes into the boundary, I should be sliding outside my end. Okay, so make it harder on 4 to block you.
Are you sliding on the movement? I mean, is it like going, you know, gap or?
Yep, we call boss. Yeah,
Are you bossing and bowling?
Yep. We get boss. Now we boss anytime if we get 3 and 4 in the boundary, we're bossing. I always tell them they ain't over there for no damn reason. 3 or 4 in the boundary, buddy. There's a reason for it. They ain't putting them over there. They just constricted themselves. Okay. So we said boss would be, you know, backers offset. Right? Backers offset strong. That's what it stands for. Okay. So 3 and 4 into the boundary, we boss. Any zone. So that backer, I don't get too much drawing on here. But it'd be the same thing here. If they took that tail back and slid him over here, 3, 4, 5, that's the boundary. Okay? And we got a slam game on, that mic will line up right there. Right? So now he gets a slam, he ought to be tighter. Okay? So our general thing for backers is anytime we're going to boss to any load, means they should slide. I get load, boss. Okay? I get 3, 4 in the boundary, boss. Okay? When we do 2 terminologies, we say boss or push. Push means that's all of us. That's the safeties. That's everybody. Push, push, push means we're all sliding. We're saying just the backers, we say boss. Boss, boss, now the backers would slide over. Okay? Because they put the tilt of the formation to one side or the other. They're going to move and we're going to move. Okay? You guys want to go? We're over right now. You guys want to take a break? You want to ask about anything about there? We can take a break. If anybody's got a question about it, we can talk more about this. Think about a question, want to talk about, can. Then we'll come back and we'll talk about the bubble, flash and pass, the wag, all that stuff, okay?